Okay, continuing on. Man, I wish I had realized that my settings were wrong on that video thing. So far, so good on that. We'll see how it shows up on YouTube. It's always going to be a bit jumpy when it first starts. Well, not always, but sometimes it does. I mean, dude, I'm telling you this. The graphics on this game is so effing complicated. It really is. It's quite amazing, really. Alright, so now we're going to go to Macedonia. Or as us normal people pronounce it, Macedonia. I'm just playing. That wasn't nice. It's Macedonia. Because there would be no C in the Greek language. I never did understand where that word came from. Macedonia. There is no C. So it's actually Macedonia. It's just dumbasses didn't know how to pronounce it in the first place. Is that like macadamian? No, I'm just playing. Well, Alexander the Great was a bit of a nut, so yeah. Okay, that was a terrible, terrible joke. It was a dad joke, I'm sorry. A lot of these Greeks are nuts, actually, now I think on. Oh, well. Okay, so that's done. Alright, so now down to Lucrece. Try to get it. I don't like making this. I don't like grabbing these bounties and making it as tedious as possible. Just get through them and grabbing the bounties as fast as possible is the goal here. Just go from place to place, grab the bounties, and then do them. Kind of the point, right? What a cloudy day it's become. I wonder if it's gonna rain. It was kind of nice and sunny outside. Looks like a storm's coming in. Okay. Alright, that's simple enough. Now down to... I still do not know how to pronounce the name of this word. Boeotia? 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 Yeah, I think that's it. You know, these people, I read up on these people here. These people were baby kids, man. They didn't want no, well, you can't blame them. They're a bit like Texas or early 13 colonies. That they did not want any sort of unity with the rest of Greece. So even when it was in for their best, they were basically forced in a war. They were kind of like in the middle there, and their history kind of goes like this. So the Greeks used their quote-unquote betrayal, which, I mean, what other choice did they have? I mean, the Persian army was marching towards them, right? After the Battle of Thermopylae and all of that, okay? But they gave in and they allowed the Persian army to walk through, or whatever it is. Didn't fight back or sided with the Persians or whatever it was. And the Greeks never forgave them for that. And so basically the Greeks looked at them as traitors to their own people, which they kind of were, but you understand why they had to do that. I mean, you had somewhat of a million man army coming through your freaking land. I mean, what other choice you have? Thermopylae had failed, right? I mean, that's the way I see it. But the Greeks didn't see it that way, and they never really forgave them. They were pulled into this war, the Peloponnesian War, and Spartans wanted to start shit with them, with Athens, because they didn't trust Athens, and they kind of sided with the Spartans in the war, only because of the Spartans made them, kind of. Not really about force, but it was just like.
Off we go now.
But eventually, it was them who rebelled against the Spartans. That's how Sparta was defeated eventually. That and through the fact they couldn't breed anymore. Thank God. And they couldn't breed anymore because, well, that's what happens when you don't control life or death. And, oh, I don't know, God does. And you throw your children off of a cliff somewhere. Just saying. God doesn't really like that too much. I love scientists too. I don't understand why the Spartans, we don't know why, just somehow they stopped breeding, and that's the reason why they were defeated eventually. Yeah. That's because man doesn't have control over life or death, even if we think we do. There is one who does. Anyway. So, yeah, that happened. I heard another one. Praxilas a mire. Oh shit! This is that one. I don't think I've ever done this one. Did I? Did I ever do that one? I don't even remember. I did these months ago. Like I said, I went through this the first time around, but then they hadn't come out with the third episode of whatever of the Legacy of the First Blade, and I was kind of impatient. I was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and start it over. Hold on, let me open this door. It's a bit hot in here. Oh, that fresh air feels nice. Okay. Yeah, you know what's funny? The whole idea of the Greek city-state, you know, up until really, oh shit, Daryl, good job.
Try to stay out of sight.
That's what happens. No, you won't. Okay, I'm gonna run away now. I'm not trying to get in a big ass fight. Frick. Wanna chase me? There you go, there's your chase. Yep. I knew I couldn't stay out of trouble. Oh, look at that. That was easy.
Right there! You can't outrun me!
Fuck! I'm on fire! No, 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 no! Your time is...
Try my bounties clear. Oops. And that's what happened, see? Sorry. Anyway, I was trying to talk to you guys and I completely didn't watch where I was going. Makes me sad. Alright. So, anyway, what I was saying was, they're like, okay, so the idea of the Greek city-state, like, it was all great in the beginning. You know, yeah, Sparta, you know, Athens, every one of those, you know, because they started out as really basically families. You know, they were families and they built up over time and they became nations. That's how it worked. A lot of people really just don't understand how that kind of worked. Like, in a lot of the islands and the places and the names and stuff like that of the cities were named after people. You know, right? But eventually, as other nations came closer and empires began to spring up, you know, Babylonians and Persians, so we're they became embroiled in these weird, strange wars. Here we go. Come on! Oh, good shot! Oh, it's a good shot. I didn't kill it though. That was a good shot. In the air too. Anyway. Gotta love this outfit. Anyway, but yeah. So Alexander the Great kind of put it into the city-state. I mean, the Peloponnesian War. After that, you know, the fall of Athens and all that crap, and fall of democracy and all of that stuff that happened, without going into detail of it, you know. And then they kind of went in a period of ruin. I mean, nobody trusted each other, and the Persians basically, even though they lost the battle and they weren't ever able to conquer Greece. Well, there's a quote, and I don't remember who said this. It might have been it might have been Darius or something. One of the last kings of Persia. He's over there across the way, over there in Turkey, and in Persia and all that. His empire's over there, right? And he says, you know, all we had to do was sit back and wait. You know, why we ever invaded? What was the point? They destroyed themselves. Basically, this is a quote saying that they ate themselves apart. And Alexander the Great's the one who united them and all that stuff, but he wasn't really technically Greek. And he's the one who finally finished off Athens. He burned that freaking city to the ground because they would not submit. They had submitted for how many ever years to all these Spartan tyrants, and that's what it ended up. And I'm sure that the game doesn't ever go that far in history. I doubt it, or I doubt there's ever going to be a game that's going to cover Alexander the Great kind of thing. But
Look where you're going, fool!
go to hell. You go to hell too. Move your ass. Anyway, so like Alexander the Great, right? He, you know, his father, you know, he wanted to conquer Persia and all that stuff, but Greece just, they got out of a war with themselves, man, and they were utterly in ruins. Not even close to being united. And Philip started it, you know, started uniting the tribes and all that stuff, the Athens and all that stuff, and when he died, and no one really wanted Alexander the Great to become what he was. And so Alexander the Great punished them all. Anybody who did not submit to him, he punished them first. He had to unite Greece first before he could conquer Persia. And he did so in a most violent manner.
Come on, let's go.
Anyway. I love history. I love this time period. There's so much more nuance and detail that you can study about this stuff, but I won't. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just, I find it fascinating, the transition period between the Peloponnesian War and the rise of Alexander the Great. What a dramatic effing fall. You're talking about, this is the height of Athens, the beauty of Athens, and of what we talk, oh, classical Greece and all that stuff, yeah. Classical Greece, in which they starved themselves to death. They didn't want to fight the Spartans straight off. Fuck out of the way from me. Where the hell did the other motherfucker go? I didn't kill both of them, did I? I don't think so. Actually, no, but he killed my horse. You Where the hell did that other bear go, dude? Again, I get in a conversation with you, I get in a fight with a bear. Okay. There was 2 bears there, right? I didn't want seeing shit. I'm not like seeing shit now. I have no idea where the other one went. Don't ask me. It went off like a little bitch. I think I burnt it. This is only bounties, so as soon as I'm done grabbing this, I'll pause it and then restart again. Alrighty then. Yeah, it would have been a terrible time to live in. People will think, oh, I'd love to go visit classical Greece. No, you wouldn't. You're thinking of the good times. You're thinking of all the stuff you're thinking about, or whatever it is. Maybe, if you're a guy, maybe you're thinking, well, even some girls too, I can now think of it. If you're a guy, you're thinking about, oh, well, they had the orgies back then. It was okay. Yeah. You're thinking of the good times. If you can call that a good time, I find that nasty. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.